was a story told to me by my roommate. It happened 3 years ago in 2022. It was the week of Thanksgiving, and my daughter's boyfriend had invited me and my daughters over to his family's house in Connecticut to spend Thanksgiving there. There wasn't much space in the house, so me and my daughters had to stay in the basement. The only people who lived in the house besides my daughter's boyfriend were his grandmother, his sister, and her husband. A few more family members were supposed to be staying over as well. But since we came late that night, I didn't get to meet any of them. We stayed the first night in the house, and it was finally the morning of Thanksgiving. I normally wake up pretty early, so I was up by 7 a.m. I was the only one awake in the house. I went upstairs to the kitchen and sat on a high chair. I sat for a bit, just drinking some coffee and relaxing before the day began. As I was drinking my coffee, I saw a cute little boy coming downstairs. He was in his pajamas and came downstairs to the fridge to get something to drink. I smiled at him and watched him go back upstairs. I remember thinking about how adorable he was. Well, later that day, everyone got ready and went into the kitchen and living room as we began our Thanksgiving celebration. Everybody was together having a great time, and that's when I decided to ask out loud, "Hey, where's the cute little boy that I saw earlier this morning?" I was instantly pulled aside by the grandma. She looked at me in shock and says, "Shh, careful my daughter doesn't hear you. Her son died in front of this house a few years ago. He got hit by a car. I see him too sometimes, but nobody believes me." My heart instantly dropped. I couldn't believe what I had just heard. After hearing that, I couldn't help but have a weird feeling the rest of the time I was in that house. Later that night, my daughter and her boyfriend went upstairs to get some yogurt from the fridge. She specifically remembered grabbing a strawberry yogurt and putting back a banana yogurt she had grabbed. As they headed back downstairs to the basement, their hearts dropped as they noticed that the banana yogurt was placed on their bed. We felt super uneasy after this. Thankfully, we ended up going home the next day. But I'll never forget how crazy these 2 days were. Hopefully, we won't have to go back anytime soon. You ever have a moment that shakes you so deeply, you still question if it really happened? I have. And no matter how much time passes, I still can't explain it. It all started when my daughter was 3 months old. My husband and I had just moved into a new house, a quiet little place in a peaceful neighborhood. Nothing eerie, nothing strange, just a fresh start for our family. One night, after everyone had gone to bed, I stayed up late cleaning. My husband was asleep, and my daughter was snug in her crib. I had the baby monitor right next to me, the video kind with night vision. Every so often, I'd glance at the screen, reassured by the steady rise and fall of her tiny chest. And then, I heard it, a whisper. At first, I thought it was just interference, maybe picking up another signal from a neighbor's monitor. But then, clear as day, a woman's voice whispered, "Shh, go back to sleep, baby." I froze. My hands went cold. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. The only people in the house were me, my husband, and my baby. I grabbed the monitor and stared at the screen. My daughter was still there, sound asleep. The room was empty. I bolted upstairs. My breath hitched as I pushed open the nursery door. The room was just as I had left it. No one was there. The air felt still, too still. For the next few weeks, strange things kept happening. I'd hear faint humming through the monitor, soft and melodic, even when the house was completely silent. Once, I stepped into the room and saw the rocking chair moving, just a little, like someone had just risen from it. Eventually, the noises stopped. The whispers, the humming, the movement, it all faded. I told myself it was just my imagination, that stress and exhaustion had gotten the better of me. But even now, when I check on my daughter at night, I can't shake the feeling that I'm not alone in that room, that something or someone is still watching over her.